What's happening? What's popping, everybody? Today we got a week match versus Trev the King, and a couple spoilers real quick. If you guys want to see a very competitive match between two good opponents, like you guys originally thought this video was going to be, don't even bother probably watching this video. This video ends up, I mean, if you guys want to hear like a rant video or just me like kind of going off a little bit, this is probably gonna, might as well get your popcorn out, as this was my second worst league match that I've ever played. And the first worst league match, I'm sure if you guys thought about it, like, it's pretty obvious what my worst league match ever was. The meme factor of it is that sometimes I do get a little bit passionate about league matches, and I guess, obviously we need to think about, this is just a game of it's just a game. And the thing is, though, with league matches, it's almost as if it's like a part-time job, in a sense of you're putting in tons of hours and you have to be incredibly passionate about it. So originally I did record this battle, and I ended up having like a half-hour game, or just half hour of me just ranting about a bunch of stuff. But more specifically, I just want to go off and say I think Trev is a really good battler and really good in league format. More so, he's really good in league format. I think as far as smoke on, I think he's kind of dicks, but he has a really deep understanding of league format, in the sense of he knows what all the mons do, and he knows how to utilize them in a stally type of way or an offensive type of way. And he can see, a couple turns ahead and just kind of go from there. But because of that, I took the most amount of time prepping versus him than anybody so far this season, as there was a 30-minute team builder just on this game. And when it ends up being a game decided by hacks, I did try to restart this game, but we couldn't replay it because I don't know, we tried to replay it, but I don't know, it just ended up not going through. But I guess I'll go over the game now, and kind of just go from there. But basically, we're going to lead off with our Registeel. Let's speed this up a little bit, as he leads off with his Mesprit. It's pretty easy rocks for rocks turn. He doesn't have the cool Mala, so I'm just going to get out my rocks. And it's really cool bring right here. He ends up bringing dual screens, Mesprit, and I want to put Mesprit on the timer. And I'm guessing that he went Dragalge just in case I went for a double Toxic on the potential Zygarde switch in, as I'm actually, just because I don't want one of his two sweepers to freely come in versus my Registeel, I'm just going to go out into Mew. Pretty simple play right there, as my Mew is packing the Roar, so even if he has dual screens up and has like Healing Wish and stuff like that, I don't really care, because all Mew needs to do is just roar things out. As he goes out into the Dragalge, and because he shows Black Sledge, he's most likely T-Spikes, as he doesn't have a fire type, so it's a free Willow. As he goes for a Sludge Wave, not sure why he went for the Sludge Wave first, but now he's going to go for a T-Spikes. Maybe he just wanted to weaken my Mew to the point where his mons can sweep, like for example Zygarde. If you weaken the Mew, then DD Zygarde just kind of wins. That's his thought process, I'm thinking, with the Sludge Wave plays. But I think it's pretty obvious that I'm going to be packing Roost, as that's what I go for right now. And he's trying to get a regular poison off on me too. He crits me a bunch of times, does not matter. And he goes for a bunch of sludge waves on my Mew, but it doesn't matter in the sense of when my Mew switches in to T-Spikes, I don't have default on Mew. When my Mew switches back into T-Spikes, it's going to be regular poisons. So these next couple plays are just me just whittling down the Dragalge with Super Fangs to the point where I can roar out Dragalge, which it dies to rock. So essentially I'm going for Super Fangs and Roosts. So now he goes out into a Celesteela onto the Mew. Hold on, let me go back. So I go for a Roost, and he goes for a Sludge Wave, and now I'm at a healthy point where if I go for a Roar, he dies to Self Rocks, as Roar is a negative priority, so that's why he gets 2 Sludge Waves off back to back, and I roar him out to the Celesteela. He shows right now that he's not lefties, so because he doesn't get lefties right here, and that tells me that he's probably Walk-On Berry or something like that, because I don't see lefties. So I'm gonna go for Roost right here, as that is my best possible play, because even if his Celesteela went for a Heavy Slam, if it went for a Rock Polish, or whatever it wanted to do, going for Roost is my safest play. To even if he goes for a sub, I have Super Fang. No matter what Celesteela wants to do, I just Roost and just kind of scout from there. So now he goes out into his Mega Diancie, and not wanting him to set up a free Calm Mind, because that, I mean, if you switch a Diancie into a Super Fang Mew, obviously you're going to have maybe something for it, or it just tells me you have nothing for this Mew. So I'm assuming that Diancie just has, Mega Diancie either has Calm Mind or he has nothing for the Mew. So goes for Moonblast. I went out in a Registeel. He could have went for Earth Power on the Mew, but like Mew's such a threat that I didn't think he'd go for Earth Power, and a double Earth Power doesn't kill because I am Sugar Berry. So now he just sacks his Dragalge as I make a play into the Thunder. So that was a pretty big play right there. As you can see, there was 2 instances I was in with Registeel, and both times I wanted to get immediately out, and I know that Registeel is set up fodder, so every single time Registeel comes in, I switch it out, because I cannot afford the means of Zygarde just freely setting up and going from there. So I go out with my Thundurus. So he goes out in the Celesteela. So this play means 2 potential things, because he brought into his Celesteela, I could make a defensive pivot to something like a Mew. I can't go out into my Registeel because Registeel gets beat by this dude. Mega Heracross obviously dies to Air Slash from Celesteela. Thundurus is essentially the Celesteela check. I don't have many things for Celesteela, and if he has some sort of set, if he has a Celesteela that beats my Thundurus, I'm okay with that, in the sense of Thundurus does put a lot of work to the remainder of his team, but at the same time, I have other things that can win, and I've already established that I want to scout out his team as soon as possible. I realize that he's dual screens Mesprit with rocks. I've seen that he's Moonblast, Timid, Diancie, and I don't know, just kind of going from there. So I really want to know. I pretty much know half of his team at this point in time. I know that he's not lefties. So just in case he's Walk-On Berry, he's either Walk-On Berry or Scarf, but just in case he's Walk-On Berry, Autotomize Celesteela, I don't want to lose to Autotomize, in the sense of, as I said, I don't have many things that kill the Celesteela, and my only check to it at this point in time is the Mew, and if he starts setting up or has something like a Walk-On Berry, Stone Edge, or something like that, I don't really want my Mew to get chipped. So anyways, Thundurus misses a Stone Edge. He ends up being Scarf. I go for the Z Power Thunderbolt just in case he's especially defensive Walk-On Berry or whatever, and I take out the Celesteela. So that's the reason why this was the shittiest game of the season, because these next couple turns are just going to be me. I set up a nasty plot. Actually, no, I go for a T-Bolt first as he sets up screens, and now I'm just going to set up nasty plots. I set up another nasty plot, and I'm just going to sweep through his team and win the game. So I spent a ton of time with this game, and Trev spent a lot of time prepping, and Trev definitely had a chance to win this game if I misplayed with my Registeel, but unfortunately I ended up going for a 6-0 sweep, and I really didn't like that, just because I don't like winning the game because of hacks, because I play this game because I just love the competition aspect to it all. And Pokemon's a shit game. I don't really know what to say other than that, but we're gonna have a very good game next week, and you guys will enjoy next week 100%. I'm confident on that one, because I'm facing Gypsy King, and it's been a while since I faced him. I have faced him in League format prior, but it's kind of been a while, and I have a lot more viewers now seeing my content. A lot of you guys are fans of me and Gypsy, so I think this is going to be me versus Gypsy. Is probably going to be the game of the season, I feel, because we have essentially even matchup, and regardless of what he may say as far as the matchup goes, and I feel like this me versus Gypsy next week is just going to come down to who has the better prep and who plays better, who makes the correct predictions, and going from there. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this match, as shitty as Pokemon is, and take it for what it is. Try not to take it too seriously, but it is what it is, and we're gonna come back hot for next week. And until next time, I'm signing out. Peace.